Good morning. We're glad you joined us this morning for this short devotional for Black Rock Baptist Church and also Morristown Baptist Church. This morning I want to talk to you about from overwhelmed to overflowing. The moment you start doubting God's goodness and you start deciding for yourself what's going to make you happy, all kinds of problems begin in your life. You wind up overworked, over anxious, overloaded, and just generally overwhelmed in life. But God promises you an overflowing life, not an overwhelmed life. Jesus said, I have come in order that you might have life and that you might have it abundantly. John chapter 10, verse 10. How do you experience that abundant, overflowing life? Well, there's one habit that if you do it every day, you will find that it will fill you with an endless supply of God's goodness. And that is to stay connected to Jesus. Stay connected. In John chapter 15, verse 5, Jesus compared staying connected to him with a grapevine. He said, I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I remain in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. John chapter 15, verse 5. What happens when a cluster of grapes is cut off from the vine? Well, it begins to die. The same is true for you and I. God is our source of energy, our source of power. And if we try to go through life on our own power, we're going to be overwhelmed. But if we're connected to him, we'll have all the power that we need for life. Or as the Bible says, your joy will overflow. One way to stay connected to Jesus is through our daily quiet time, that quiet time that you set aside to be alone with God, to get to know him through reading his word and talking to him in prayer. Mark chapter 1, verse 35 tells us very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Even Jesus knew his personal need for connection with God, and he was the Son of God. How much more do we need the strength that comes from daily time spent with the Lord? Some days you might not feel like having a quiet time, but do it anyway. If you wait to have a quiet time until you feel like it, Satan's going to make sure that you never feel like it. Do you find yourself needing more time, more energy, more knowledge, more opportunity? I want to challenge you to develop the habit of spending daily time with Jesus, staying connected. When you stay connected to him, you'll find your life is overflowing with God's goodness and God's power, and you'll realize that's all you ever needed. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Join us through the week, Wednesday and Friday, as we continue in our short devotionals. And until we meet again, let's continue to exchange prayers daily.